So let's dive straight into this explainer. We're going to break down exactly how that deeper understanding is built, relying directly on Cursor's technical documentation to uncover the real mechanics behind its hyper-optimized repository-level awareness.
So here is exactly how we're going to break down Cursor's dynamic retrieval engine today.
Section 1. Building the mental map.
The very first step in this whole pipeline is indexing. You see, Cursor doesn't just parse your code as raw, dumb text. Instead, it uses a parser called TreeSitter to generate an abstract syntax tree, or AST, for every single file in your repo. But here is the absolutely critical optimization. During this phase, it ruthlessly throws away all the white space and all the comments. It only keeps the vital symbols. We're talking functions, classes, imports, exports, and their signatures. By stripping away all that noise, Cursor builds this tremendously lightweight, highly efficient symbol table that acts as the structural skeleton for your entire project.
Once that skeleton is mapped out, we move to chunking. You obviously can't feed an entire repository into an AI model all at once, it'd choke. So after indexing, each file is sliced up into overlapping code chunks. And the magic number here? Roughly 150 to 300 tokens per chunk. These overlapping, bite-sized pieces are small enough to be highly specific, but just large enough to retain the actual logic and context of the code inside them. But a raw chunk of code on its own isn't quite enough. These chunks are then passed through specialized embedding models, specifically ones fine-tuned for code, like Voyage Code 2 or Code GX, to create mathematical representations called embeddings. Crucially, it's not just the code getting embedded. Cursor packs in vital metadata, like the specific file path and the surrounding imports. This incredibly rich contextual embedding is then stored right there on your machine in a local SQLite database with a vector extension. This basically means the deep semantic meaning of your code is instantly searchable directly from your local drive. Which brings us to Section 2, the retrieval strategy.
So what happens when you type a prompt? Cursor uses a really brilliant hybrid strategy. It doesn't just rely on one method. It hits your local database with a 1-2 punch. First, a semantic vector search. This looks for chunks that are conceptually similar to what you're asking for, even if you didn't use the exact same terminology. Then it follows up with a keyword search using the BM25 algorithm. This specifically hunts down those exact string matches for function names or tricky variables you might have typed. By combining that broad conceptual understanding with hyper-precise keyword matching, the system makes absolutely sure nothing relevant slips through the cracks.
Now, as you can imagine, this search engine usually dredges up a lot of potential matches, but it definitely doesn't just dump all that chaotic data onto the AI. Instead, it uses a cross-encoder model to meticulously re-rank all of those results. This re-ranking process is incredibly strict. It filters those broad initial results down, isolating just the top 10 to 15 most contextually useful chunks. It guarantees that only the absolute highest signal, cream of the crop information, makes it to the next step.
Moving right along to Section 3, Surgical Context Packing.
Okay, so we have our top 15 chunks. How do we actually hand them over to the large language model? Cursor uses a highly deliberate ordering system. Imports go first, beautifully setting the stage. Type definitions go second, establishing the rules and the shapes of your data. And finally, the actual code implementation goes last. This strict priority algorithm is crucial. It ensures the LLM sees exactly what it needs, in the precise, logical order required to understand how all your pieces fit together. And to keep the AI perfectly oriented while it reads through these isolated chunks, Cursor actually injects explicit file path tags right between every single one. By flat out stating exactly where a piece of code lives, like, hey, this is from source/services/auth.py, the physical layout of your codebase is perfectly clear to the AI. It totally prevents the model from getting confused about where a specific function actually resides in your project. But what if the AI is mid-analysis and suddenly really needs to know what a specific referenced function does? Well, in a total stroke of genius, Cursor maintains a live language server protocol connection, an LSP. When the AI explicitly asks, wait, what does this validate token function do? Cursor bypasses the vector database entirely. It doesn't bother with a fuzzy semantic search. It just pings the live LSP for the exact line of the definition and injects only that specific snippet directly into the prompt. It's an incredible shortcut that guarantees total pinpoint accuracy. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 4, Avoiding AI Pitfalls. As incredibly powerful as this engine is, it does face two massive threats that can instantly turn our helpful senior engineer back into a confused, guessing copilot. The first is stale indexes.
Think about it. If you rename a vital function in your editor, but the local vector database hasn't updated to reflect that, the AI is going to confidently hallucinate based on old data. The second big threat is over-retrieval. If the system gets greedy and grabs way too many code chunks, it floods the context window. And when an LLM gets overwhelmed with information, it suffers from lost-in-the-middle syndrome, essentially forgetting its core system prompt and overarching instructions.
So how do they fix it? To combat the very real danger of stale data, Cursor cleverly hooks directly into your version control. It uses Git hooks to trigger reindexing dynamically on the fly. That means the background database is constantly refreshing as you type and save, keeping the AI's mental map perfectly synchronized with the actual current state of your code. It's an elegant, seamless solution to a problem that really plagues a lot of older static AI tools.